From the moment we are old enough to understand, we are given the blueprint for our future dream. It's a simple, powerful promise whispered by our parents, echoed by our teachers, and posted on every billboard. Work hard, save your money, and one day, you'll have it all. The house with the white picket fence, the reliable car in the driveway, a life of comfort and security earned through the sweat of your brow. We believe it because we want to believe it. Pour our youth, our energy, and our hope into this promise. We show up early, we stay late, we take on the extra shift. We do everything we were told to do. But for so many of us, that dream feels more and more like a mirage shimmering in the distance. You feel it, don't you? That gnawing sensation that you're running as fast as you can, but the finish line keeps moving further away. It's like being on a treadmill, and every year someone cranks up the speed. Your legs, your effort, your labor, your salary can only pump so fast. You're working harder than ever before, more productively than any generation in history, yet you feel like you're falling behind. You look at your paycheck, you look at the price of groceries, of gas, of a starter home in a decent neighborhood, and the math just doesn't add up. You start to ask yourself a terrifying question. Why does it feel like the more I work, the poorer I get? This isn't just a feeling. It's not a failure of your effort or a lack of your ambition. It's a fundamental shift in the very ground beneath our feet. A French economist named Thomas Piketty captured this seismic change in a simple, devastating formula. R greater than G, it stands for rate of return on capital, is greater than the rate of economic growth. In plain English, what this means is that money is now making money faster than people can earn money. The wealth generated from owning stocks, real estate, businesses, assets is growing at a far more explosive rate than the wealth generated from working a job. Think of it like two runners in a race. One runner is labor, that's you, earning a wage. You're running on your own 2 feet, and with great effort, your income might grow by 2% or 3% a year, if you're lucky. After inflation, it might even feel like you're standing still. The other runner is capital. This runner isn't running at all. They're riding a rocket. Their wealth, invested in assets, is compounding at 5%, 7%, or even more year after year. While your salary inches forward, their net worth is launching into orbit. This isn't just a gap. It's a chasm that widens every single day. The old social contract, the one that promised that a good education and a lifetime of hard work would be your ticket to the middle class and beyond, is being quietly rewritten. For millions, that path to owning a piece of the American dream, like a home, is becoming an impassable road. You don't have to look far to see the devastating proof. Look at what's happened in global cities like Seoul, South Korea. There you have some of the most educated, most productive, and hardest working people on the planet. They graduate from top universities, work grueling hours at world-class companies, and yet, the dream of owning a simple apartment in the city where they work has become an almost statistical impossibility for an entire generation. Their salaries, while high, have been completely dwarfed by the astronomical rise in real estate prices. The value of the asset, the apartment, outpaced the value of their labor so dramatically that the race was over before it even began. They did everything right according to the old rulebook, only to discover the game had changed. And this isn't a story about a faraway land. It's a preview of the reality that is unfolding right here in every major city across the United States. When the return on capital is compounding at 7% annually, a sum of money doubles in about 10 years. Meanwhile, if your wages are only growing at 2%, it would take 35 years for your income to double. 35 years just to catch up to where capital was 25 years ago. It's a rigged race. And as long as you are only a participant in the labor economy, you are destined to fall further and further behind the owners in the capital economy. The system that was supposed to lift you up is now structured in a way that pins you down. The treadmill you're running on isn't just getting faster. It's on a steepening incline, and exhaustion is setting in. But what if I told you there's a way to get off the treadmill? What if the secret isn't to run harder, but to change the race you're running? The only survival strategy, the only path to true financial freedom in this new economy, is to make a fundamental shift in your identity. You must evolve from being solely a laborer to becoming an owner. This journey begins with a radical change in your mindset. You have to become addicted to assets, not just your salary. For too long, we've been trained to fixate on the next paycheck, the annual raise, the overtime bonus. That paycheck feels like our lifeline. But a salary is just active income. It stops the moment you stop working. An asset is a soldier that works for you day and night, even while you sleep. It's a piece of a company, a plot of land, a rental property that generates income and appreciates in value, independent of your direct labor. You need to start seeing every dollar, not just as something to be spent, but as a potential seed you can plant in the fertile ground of the capital economy. This isn't about getting rich quick. It's about a slow, deliberate transfer of your identity from someone who rents out their time to someone who owns pieces of the economic engine. To do this, you must first become a student of the language of money. This is the education they never gave us in school. You must understand inflation not as a headline, but as a silent tax that erodes the value of every dollar you save in the bank. You must understand leverage, the powerful tool that allows you to control a large asset with a small amount of your own money, the very principle that builds real estate empires. You must understand the tax code, not as a burden, but as a set of incentives designed to encourage the very behavior you need to adopt: investing and owning. Your home should not just be a nest egg you hope to pay off in 30 years. It should be viewed as a cornerstone of your personal portfolio, an asset that can be leveraged to acquire other assets. This financial literacy is not a hobby for the wealthy. It is the essential survival skill for the 21st century. Finally, and perhaps most painfully, this requires you to consciously escape the soul-crushing race of status consumption. We live in a society that screams at you to define your success by what you display. The new car with the crippling monthly payment, the latest smartphone that's only marginally better than the last one, the designer clothes that broadcasts an illusion of wealth. This is the trap. It's a system designed to keep you on the labor treadmill, converting your hard-earned cash into depreciating symbols of status. While the truly wealthy convert their cash into appreciating assets, every dollar you spend to impress someone you know is a dollar you've stolen from your future self. The real status is not the car you drive, but the freedom you own. It's the freedom to walk away from a job you hate, the freedom to spend your time with your family, the freedom to pursue work that fills you with purpose, not just dread. To achieve this, you must start investing your most precious resource, your time freedom. Invested in learning, in planning, in building your asset column, brick by brick. This is your journey. It is a journey of overcoming the invisible structures designed to hold you back. It is difficult, it is challenging, and it requires a courage you may not know you have. But the promise of the American dream was never about being an employee for life. At its core, it was always a dream of ownership, of your life, of your destiny, of your freedom. The rules of the game have changed, but the human spirit's capacity to adapt, to learn, and to overcome is limitless. It's time to stop running on their treadmill. It's time to step off, take a deep breath, and start building your own path, one asset at a time. The journey from laborer to owner is the great struggle of our generation, and it is a journey that starts today.